Are you Artyom? Come in. Whoever kills the Munai Bailer is my friend. The Munai Bailer, as we call them, turned my people into slaves. Wanted to put me in shackles too. Better death. Read you loud and clear. Your man helped me. I mean, you're dead. But why are you here? For 5 years, nobody would come here save for Munai Bailer.
What do you know of the antennas near your lighthouse?
There used to be a comm center before the war. My mother worked there. She was an officer. The facility is long abandoned. I went there after war to look for lost traces, but found nothing.
Abandoned. We helped you, so could you help us in return by leading our man inside?
Good. I will help.
Artyom, you have to find the archive. It should be near the command center. Look for shots taken after the war, starting with the year 2013. The Mir will soon be there. You can count on him. Miller, over and out.
If we go, we better go now, before more of them arrive. Use the workbench if you need to fix something. There are all kinds of danger. A smart man wouldn't go there. You seem smart, but you do not have choice. Before war, this place was beautiful. See, I was 5 then. My mom was young, alive. Now it's just desert. All the beasts changed into freaks. And people became beasts. My people became chattel. Not by themselves. The oil dogs made them. The oil stayed even though the sea dried out. Old people died. Only the young remained, and they all obey their masters now. The Munai Bailer say they're gods of fire now, and the young believe. 5 years after the war, my mother died. I was all alone. I know how to open the door, so I can... I never went deep. Others. a left turn. There's a narrow passage there. I'll stay here. Someone must keep the power going.
As long as you play the other two games first, I cannot recommend
I'll
it.
be thankful to you as long as I live.
2033 and Last Light. The order does not matter too much. The story, of course, will make more sense, but I believe Exodus to be the worst of the trilogy. So, like, I can play 2033 especially endlessly. My biggest problem right now is that I have forgotten how to switch the ammunition of this gun, since now I will encounter one of the scariest and annoying enemies of the entire game. An enemy I cannot kill with bullets. And the best thing is, the older games are cheap. I have to look up how to switch ammunition. Like normally, the game would tell me, but I have the interface disabled for immersion. Also, I should quickly mention old games that are really freaking nice. The old Crisis trilogy. You can pick them up for 15-20 bucks on Origin. If you're a graphic whore like me, those are definitely games to pick up.
Failure. Prepare individual equipment and remain at your stations. Await for further instructions.
Did you hear that, Artyom?
The Crisis series is an action shooter, but I just thought it fitting. The Metro series, on the other hand, are more heavier, story-driven action shooter. They are so genius on atmosphere. The Crisis series, on the other hand, is I describe them always as tech demos for the CryEngine. But especially the first part has gained more acknowledgement in terms of level design, open worldiness, and many features of it were overthrown by the awesomeness that was Far Cry 2. But with time, more people saw the first Crisis to be more superior. It recently got a remaster, but I cannot really recommend the remaster since it sure, it looks better than the old one, but it is an old game and it looks old, even so it's a new game engine, new graphical engine, and it has RTX and stuff. But man, Crisis 1, when it came out, it was the game that butchered every piece of hardware. It was it even has the meme of "Can it run Crisis?" You know, on the performance of Crisis you could measure how good your PC was. It was written for the second next generation of video games, and in today's an age that is not recreatable, since we smartened up, we acknowledge more stuff that is just bad coding and stuff. But the Crisis series as a whole always pushed the limits of graphic design. Now I've got to actually have to fire. And especially Crisis 3 is my status symbol of if a game looks good. If you want a game that is also immersive with a great story, but that is a game that is really taxing on PCs, since it was a console game before, Horizon Zero Dawn recently caught my heart. Since Crisis 3, I had no game that was not only intense, but really looked better than Crisis 3. And I have forgotten what quest I'm on. But Horizon Zero Dawn recently gave me the experience again from when I first picked up... I'm running the wrong direction. From when I first played Crisis 1. Open world, dope story, and intense graphics. Like, when you look at this cabin, like this, oh, it's actually here. But often games just have this flat surface with a texture over, you know? And if you have wrong button. If you have a scar on a character, a scar, a scarf, everything is actually engraved into the model, and that makes Horizon so freaking grabbing. Oh, I have to get into this vent. Yeah. It was so awesome. I actually have to ban myself a little bit from playing it again, since I don't wanna ruin. Oh, come on. I really wanted to rush a second playthrough of that game, but I need to memorize that first impression it got from me more and cherish it more. But yeah, but definitely the Metro games, I
We are switching to emergency supply. Should be enough for the lift.
they're like the Amnesia games, you know. But Amnesia defined the genre. Metro took something from the genre and improved it with storytelling, basically. But the thing the other two parts do really well, what this part is doing really awful, is you have a silent protagonist, someone who doesn't talk. And this game talks too much for you, you know? So that is what interrupts my immersion for this game. I actually do not know Chernobylite, but saying that, I instantly have to think about the Stalker games, or the first one, Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl, which is Stalker has become way too annoying to play. I would, rather than recommending that game, I would recommend a video on it. But let me search that one, because maybe I have seen it at some point, but just don't remember it. Just quick review, zapping through this video. The fear of Chernobylite for me would be that it's trying too hard to look decent. But then again, that is just like a 10-15 second look. How do I get out again? Eh. That moment when you play too fast for the game, for the actions to catch up for you.
The generator's almost out of juice. Fuel and I won't last here without the lights.
So, and now you will see why I don't think so highly of this game, since we are going back to the surface, where we will not have as enclosed corridors and such. Man, I'm talking too much on a gameplay basis. I need to stop that. I need to enjoy this scene, because this is still a decent game.
Let's get out of here. They won't jump us with lights still on.
It's just not. It is just not a Metro game. Give me 10 more minutes of your time before you make that decision. But definitely go for part 1 and 2. Not only are they cheap, they are way more immersive than this game.
It's amazing the lift still works with all the cracks in the bunk.
Mother told me they had to repair many times, and other things too. Keprakme. Thank you, Artyom. This is for you. Father gave it to me when I was little. Damir says there's a little girl on your train. Give it to her. May it bring her luck. You people are lucky. Most of the Munai Baile are raiding all their best troops. If they were all here, you'd be dead already. But now, we have a chance to change things.
Munai Bailer translates to something like oil-rich people. Oil drillers, I guess.
Listen to me. I'll tell you where to go now. When outside, go right. The road there used to lead to the sea, to port.
Anna should be around there. Contact her. She probably found something.
Base, Anna here. Yes, Stan. I'm near the port, watching the main road. Got activity. Nothing serious so far, but some backup would be welcome.
Look, everyone, the baron is about to speak. Look, everyone, the baron is... Yo, people, I had a radio chat with the boss of that train gang, and I don't even know what to say. For starters, that boss is an honest-to-goodness colonel, and he's not on a joyride here, oh no. He's been sent here on a mission by the Supreme Command. He was rather vague on the specifics, so he says his mission is secret. And if you think this is all there is, you're gravely mistaken. Can you imagine where this colonel is hailing from? Straight from Moscow. It's such a long time since I had such a laugh. But that isn't even all. This clown wants our water, fuel, and rite of passage. He's a reasonable man, ain't he? Oh, and in return, the Supreme Command is sure to reward us later. Oh, it's been a while since I heard.
Come on! Where are my knives? Give me my knives! Come on. Do I not have any knives? Now it gives me my knife instead of sticky bombs. Nice. So this game has two negative points for me that are not really that you can ignore, but I'm paying too much attention for it. You can see I cannot. Oh wait, do this. Ah, now I have my mouse. You see this sector, this, then there's one on the top left there. There will be special weapon mods in there for you to explore, and I think even this story will take me top left and bottom right. But the problem with that is, even so this is a living overworld and I can go wherever the fuck I please, it's not crafted with much love, and everything will look as empty as here. But on the other hand, my standards are really freaking high. The other negative is this is a game that had RTX as his main marketing point, or well, when RTX came onto the market, this was the game most promoted for it. And I think RTX is actually ruining a lot of its graphics, since they look way too plain and plastic. For example, her hair.
Here's what I learned. See that crane at the dock? There is someone in the cabin. Can't see him that well.
And the
but I think he noticed me as
second
soon as
point
I arrived.
is
That seems like a great
this
spot
crafting
to
system.
have in our
This
place, so you should check
crafting
it out.
system is good. Don't get me wrong. You can
Look at that cracked ship
you can
now.
on the
The
fly
largest one, closest to the water. See?
change the
Well, it's
weapon
not
mods
cracked, but rather carefully dismantled.
on your
I saw
weapon,
trucks
which is
carrying cages
pretty
arrive at that boat.
freaking damn
Looks
cool,
like this
right?
is where the bandits keep their prisoners.
But it came at a time where every game needed to have
There's that
crafting,
building over there,
and
past the
so
port.
in
Looks
my
like an
mind
air-controlled
it feels
tower, but I'm not
tacked
sure.
on, even so
In any
it's
case, there
actually
should be a
quite
lot of
good.
equipment there. Something might come in handy.
So I'm biased there.
I see you got the maps. You and Demir did a great job there. I'll keep watching the rigs, and you can choose your next goal. Damn, I wish I could wash off all this sand already. I hope we get out of this desert soon.
Oh, and that is one of the strong points of the Metro series. You can actually talk up to 15 minutes with most characters in these idle situations. There's a lot of extra dialogue that doesn't even feel like fluff. It feels really like it should be there. Actual characters in modern games. I know. Man, I remember another good story game, but that is more a educational story game. And then yeah, I think I'm putting out too many story games right after each other. But Senua's Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice is a freaking amazing piece. The idea of the game is exploring the world in the mind of someone who doesn't have a sound mind, who hallucinates a lot, who is in a psychic. You know, these facilities where insane people are in. But it's not like a pure horror game like, you know, Outlast or something. No, this is taking the point of exploring the world through their mind. Not necessarily in a horrifying fashion, even though, sure, it has horror elements, but it has as target more opening the conversation of what is reality and how can it be differently experienced. It fails that a little bit, but the story in of itself in Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice is freaking amazing. Yeah, that is a game not action packed. It tells a story. Even the combat is quite basic, but it's catching. Now I promise I will focus on the game.